today, yeah.
Yeah, late, sorry.
No, fine.
I got it.
We got it?
Try it. Is it okay? You can ask.
Hello.
Testing.
We did an update on YouTube.
Okay. They're checking it. Yeah, it works now. Okay, we're good.
Good? Everybody can hear us? Yeah. All right, we're back. That was quick. Thank you for everybody who helped us out on this. All right. We're now going to call for a voice. I'm going to close board comments. I believe we're done with the abstracts. I'm going to call for a voice vote. All in favor of the abstract, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed and abstentions. The motion is adopted.
I'm going to abstain.
One abstention. Thank you very much, Jamie. I'm going to waive the reading of the legal notice posted and advertised at this proper time. Do I have a second for the parks?
Second.
Okay. Calling for a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. No nays, abstentions. All right, we'll move on. At this point in time, we're going to be opening the public hearing in a moment, but what we're going to do is we're going to have Parks and Recreation Director Tony Birkinshaw speak to the situation with the hours that we're looking to do. So we're going to have him come up and kind of address everybody in case there are concerns up front. So, Tony,
There
you go there or there, whatever you want.
So one of the things I did is I sent out an email to you guys explaining some of the things that are going on at the park. It's not so much the morning hours we're looking to address, it's the evening hours, the extracurricular stuff that go on at the park. Obviously the good thing is the parks are being used, but they're being used and abused in ways that we don't want to see that happen. Setting these set hard hours, we can adjust and we can look at. It's not to say that it's just the park's not open during those hours. So you can still visit the park, you can still go in the parks. It's just giving our local law enforcement teeth to sink into if something were to go wrong, that give them probable cause to go up to a vehicle, go up to an individual and express that concern to them. So we're just helping our local law enforcement set hard times so that it's more aware, where dusk to dawn is a little vague. Your dusk, your dawn is a little vague from my dusk to dawn. So it just would set hard hours. Everybody knows the times that we're talking about, and our local law enforcement can enforce that.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony. I'm going to now open the public hearing at 6:11 p.m. And I'd like to invite anybody who would like to speak for or against changing the hours of the parks to come up and get the dais and speak to either for or against. Okay, I have one that was emailed to me that I will read because I was asked to read this. Regarding subject proposal to be discussed on 3/25/26 hearing, such a late AM opening would put a damper on our numerous ice fishermen. They would surely gravitate to lake access by parking along numerous suburban streets and bring noisy snowmobile chaos to our lakeside communities in the wee hours of the mornings. These streets are generally relatively narrow as two-way passages, and the clutter of roadside pickup trucks with trailers in the midst of encroaching snowbanks would make them marginally passable for emergency vehicles, plows, school buses. Perhaps a seasonal morning waiver could be included with the proposed 7 a.m. opening time in order to enable both the ongoing pleasurable park access by our ice fishermen and the peacefulness of our lakeside area neighborhoods. Sam Anderson, Superior Ave in Cicero. So I'm reading that as written. Okay, at this point, we have no comments from the audience for or against.
So again, that it's just to allow people to know that the park's not open till 7. It means that they can still access the water. They can still go through the parks. The park's just not going to be officially open till 7 a.m. That's what we're basically saying. It just gives us probable cause for the evening activities and things that go on in the later hours, not so much the morning hours. We can look at it as a board. We can talk about it too. We can adjust the hours with daylight savings hours. We can always go back and amend this. This right now is just getting it on the books. So it helps our law enforcement when it comes to our busy time in the summertime to enforce local law.
Okay, thank you. Now I would like to know if we have any board commentary of this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean, I totally understand the ice fishing aspect of it, because I do that myself as well. And I get that. But I've also talked to a lot of the residents around that area. and they have some other concerns. Their properties are being, violated, their privacies, they're trespassing. They're entering through the park. They're going down around the waterway, 3 houses down from the park, walking out on their docks to go fishing. So, I mean, I think we need to take that into consideration, because once you open that park till later at night, now you're gonna have people out there having campfires, and that could potentially, go that way as they're sitting on their patios. That's been, I think, I talked to 4 different residents that live right on, bordering the park, and they've had that problem. You know, I don't know if we could look at a fence maybe to try to stop that. It's concerning for the residents.
We are in the process of working with Atlas Fence to put a chain link fence in. So we eliminated the fence that was there. The project is now started, so we are looking in and trying to address that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like I said, it's one of those things too, that once we get this established, we can look at different times of seasons. Right now, I'm just looking to get set times on the local law and on the books.
So I guess my concern, speaking to the whole we can change it flexibility, is right now, this is being presented as a local law, hard and fast times. There's no language in here about being able to be changed. So in order to change this, it would have to go through the local law process again, is my understanding, which means have to have another public hearing. It's not just something that we can be like, oh, tonight, it's after Labor Day, let's change the rules. So if the intent is to allow flexibility, I think we should look at potentially rewording this in such a way that the law permits the board to modify hours at different times of the year or whatever, rather than hard coding specific times that then have to go through this longer process again to change.
Okay, any other, well, in that case, what we'd have to do is we would have to go in and vote this down, have them bring it back for,
Let's get further comments if anyone's got
but
more.
well, I'm just saying if that's what we're going to consider doing, we would have to basically vote this down, and then you would have to come back with another one that would state that we're going to have hours that have more flexible, and that would have to be written out. We can't thrash that out right now if that were to be the
Right.
case. Okay.
So my concern, kind of going along the same lines, and I completely understand why we need to have this for sure, and I'm on board with getting times, for all the reasons that you already stated. My concern is that for 6 months out of the year, 9 o'clock is probably pretty late, because if it gets dark at 5 or 5:30, so I'm just wondering about safety concerns. And if that's going to be an issue for some of the parks. So I don't know if this is something where maybe we need to look at each park separately, and you would know the answer to that, if that would cause more confusion or if it would make more sense. Do you know what I mean? Because every park is a little different, but I completely understand why we need to do this, and I'm for it. I'm just wondering if maybe we should table it until we can dive in a little deeper to see if we should separate each park or if we should put in some caveats. And I'm just putting it out there, but you would know, you're the park specialist, so you would know, and feel free to say why that wouldn't be a great idea. And I'm open to it. That's just my initial thought, is that maybe we should table it just because it seems like there's a little bit more controversy than what I would have even expected in putting this out here, because I completely understand the reasons why we need to do this.
I'm just concerned with, the ability to have law enforcement do what they're supposed to be doing, because we do have people using the parks improperly. We have a great deal of them using it properly all the time, even in off hours, but we do have a problem at times, and we do have the police who have to go up there, and just gives them more teeth. So I'm in favor of it for that reason, and that reason alone, is that it just allows the police to do their job. But, again, it'll be a board vote. So any additional discussion?
In your email, there were, a couple statements, it's specific to, William Park, right? Totally see that. I'm all for consistency too, right? To Counselor Hogan's point about different times for different parks, consistency, right? From some of the statements made here tonight, would it really hurt if we waited another meeting to make sure we had those, instead of having to, vote on this tonight and then going through the process to change the times again? I just think it's probably better to just wait, get times figured out, and then just, we don't have to make huge changes.
revising the proposal.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
will Back out, advertise it,
Yeah.
let the public know about it, and
Yeah.
then come back in.
Yeah.
And do what you were gonna do tonight, except you would revise and refine what you're
With
gonna.
better times. Yep. Okay.
And we could do that by next meeting though, right? Or do
Well,
we
you
have
have to
to
post
have
it
more
to be
time
together.
to advertise?
You'd have to get it out.
Yeah, probably like May-ish.
So it'd have to be the meeting after that, maybe earliest.
Probably.
Would that cause issues, Tony? If we wait a month or 6 weeks,
Just when the weather starts getting nicer, we start
Yeah.
getting people in the parks.
right? Okay.
Okay, do we have additional commentary? So at this point, what looks to be on the table is we are going to table this for the future. So basically, we're just going to scrap it and bring it back at that point. So do we have to have a vote for that to scrap it? Or do we have to?
I'm actually also, like, again, just me,
Mhm.
I'm okay with voting on this tonight, the
Right.
way it is. You made a great statement, Tony. It was, you can be in the park. Like if you have a dog, for example, and you want to walk your dog early in the morning before, I mean, I get that too. People get up, got to do things and they want to walk their dogs, work them out. Again, is there something that we could post like these are the park hours? But again, that doesn't, I mean, I think I'm answering my own question before, you probably don't want to say like, you can be at the park even though the park's not open. I don't really think you want to do that either, but yeah. So I guess I'm answering my question. I would like to refine the time more. Okay.
Okay, any additional comments? I think we're just going to push this to a vote, and if we vote against it, we'll just have to bring it back down the road. So,
You don't even have to push this to a vote.
We could just table it.
so we're just going to
Sorry.
table, okay, Mike, I'm sorry,
Table
Counselor,
it.
I thought you were in favor of pushing it forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to basically table this to a future date until it's been revised, and we'll go from there. So all in favor of tabling this till a meeting forward of this, say aye.
We have to give the date.
April 8th, okay, so let's go April 8th. Let's get it done as quickly as possible. Can we do this quickly?
Would it have to be the 22nd though for the comment period?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then
let's
we
do the
give
22nd.
more time for the
Right.
advertising. So the 22nd.
Okay, so the vote is now going to be to table this till the 22nd meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays, abstention, I will abstain. We are going to table it.
Set a public hearing for Cicero Sewer District Contract number 43. Move for the adoption of the resolution to set a public hearing for Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 at 6 PM at 8236 Brewerton Road to approve sewer petition plan and contract drawings for Cicero Sewer District Contract number 43 associated with Americana of Cicero as prepared by Edward Reed Engineering, PLLC.
Second.
Board comments, please.
Absolutely, let's do a public hearing and all that. Just for my own education, is this creating a new water district? Is this expanding something different? I just would like to know exactly what it is we're doing here.
Right, every time they, the sewer district didn't extend into this property, so it has to be extended for the people to get on the billing, the proper, it's
Okay.
just,
So we're just making an existing district bigger. It's not creating something new or anything.
yes, and everything's going to be at the cost of the
Right,
developer.
because each district is its own fund, right? So we're not creating a new fund for a
Well,
new district.
for our sewer district, we have no debt in our district, so it's really, this is something we, Trey and I, as far as water districts go,
Mhm.
we would like to consolidate. As far as the sewer district
So
goes,
that,
we are consolidated. We only have one sewer district. Well, we
that's the
have,
next item then on here for the water
the
district.
water district is going to be an
Okay.
extension of one, and the sewer is just really adding to our existing sewer district.
Okay, cool. Thank you for
Mhm.
the explanation.
Okay, additional comments from the board? Calling for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed and abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Move for the adoption of a resolution to set a public hearing for Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 at 6 PM at 8236 Brewerton Road to approve the formation of the Cicero Water District Extension Number 6 associated with Americana of Cicero as prepared by Iannusian Romans Land Surveying, PC.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Board comments, please. Seeing there are none, I'll call for a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, and the motion is carried.
Adoption of the Onondaga County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. Whereas the Cicero Town Board recognizes the threat that natural hazards pose to people and property within the town of Cicero, and whereas Onondaga County has prepared a multi-hazard mitigation plan hereby known as the 2025 Hazard Mitigation Plan for Onondaga County and its participating jurisdictions, HMP, in accordance with the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000. And whereas the HMP identifies mitigation goals and actions to reduce or eliminate long-term risk to people and property in the town of Cicero from the impacts of future hazards and disasters. And whereas adoption by the Cicero Town Board demonstrates their commitment to hazard mitigation and achieving the goals outlined in the HMP. Now therefore be it resolved by the Cicero Town Board of New York that the Cicero Town Board adopts the 2025 Hazard Mitigation Plan for Onondaga County and its participating jurisdictions. This plan approved by the community may be edited or amended after submission for review and will not require a community to readopt any further iterations. This only applies to this specific plan and does not absolve the community from updating the plan in 5 years.
Okay, I'm going to, do we have a second on this motion?
Second?
Okay, now we're going to have a presentation from our engineer.
Okay, just a real quick briefing of what this was about, the supervisor asked me. So this was obviously a plan by Onondaga County is running it. It's really a statewide initiative. They take care of it for the county. It allows us to get funding. So that's the, and you can move on to the next slide. Clearly, the goals are to protect life, increase understanding and awareness of natural hazard risk, promote resiliency, protect the environment and natural resources, promote and support partnerships, and enhance disaster preparedness, response, and recovery. Next one, please. So the plan only addresses natural hazards, and you can see them up there: drought, flood, harmful algal bloom, invasive species. Wildfire and heat wave were added new this year. Earthquakes on there, geological hazards, severe weather, winter weather. Next one, please. So this is how it came out for Cicero. So it was probably in 2024 that a few of us went over to, they had a big seminar. So Chris and Dave from the Highway Department, Bill Alley from Parks, Steve from Codes, and me went over, and we all plugged in all this information and stuff, and this is how our stuff came out to rank it. So you next slide, please. We're required to have actions for each one that was in medium or high. We can go to the next one. So the new ones for this year, so a lot are carryovers, and some of them really didn't make sense. So some were being taken off because they actually were in the town of Clay. So we pointed that out, but it's still listed in the plan and it will come out in the next plan. But, oh, if you could go back to that one, please. Anyway, so drought resilience and heat wave and extreme heat resilience, these were initiatives proposed by the county and their consultant for each community. And that's really just to do a public informational campaign on those subjects on how people can prevent themselves. The one that we added into this plan was to dredge Mud Creek. So we put that we put that one in the plan. So you can go to the next one. So there was a public comment period in May of 2025. I don't know whether the county got any feedback or not. Next one, please. So the most important thing is this has to be adopted by every jurisdiction. So that's every town and village, the city of Syracuse. So it's important. So we're doing our part tonight to look at it. And what it also will do, it will allow us to be eligible for FEMA funding should we need it, and maybe some other types of funding. So I think it only behooves us to use it, to adopt it, so we have that, and maybe just by having, we're hoping the Mud Creek project in there, that might help us get funding. Next one, please. And then, so this is really an Onondaga County Department of Planning initiative. So technical questions should probably, you can try me, but they might have to go to Onondaga County. And so that's really it. So
Thank
I
you.
tried to do it fast.
And you were brief, and I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I've had a chance to look the plan over myself. Very thorough, very far-reaching. They've looked at
I'm
everything.
sorry, I should have mentioned, so it's available on Onondaga County's website. So there's the plan, and we can't even put it on ours because it's in these huge different, if you saw their website. But then when the Cicero Annex is adopted, we could probably put that on our website, the part that is particular to Cicero, once it's formally adopted.
Great.
So,
Like I said, great report. They thought of pretty much everything, and I like how they rank the potential hazards in our area because, you know, we have specific ones, winter weather, so on and so forth, and they really laid that out very, very nicely. So any additional board comments? Okay, I'm going to call for a voice vote. All in favor of adopting this, say aye.
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, the motion is adopted.
Move to surplus and action the 2014 Ford F-350 diesel dually dump truck with plow. VIN 1FD F3HT4 FEB 12359 mileage 43163.3. The parked dump truck box is severely rotted and is not recommended for use or hauling materials. Action will be at the county auction, and monies from the sale is to be put back into parks equipment code 001-711-0022000000.
Okay, we're going to have a second on this motion.
I'll second.
Okay, board comments.
Again, no issues with this, but this is just my quest to make things transparent and public and understand and just feed my own need to know. So basically what will happen here, Trey, is this will be sold and the proceeds will go to a revenue budget line. It's not something we've already budgeted for, right? That we were gonna sell it. And then at that point, we can appropriate those funds to go into this budget line, or does that happen automatically because of this resolution?
Correct. This resolution is also, looks like it's appropriating
Okay.
those funds to that line, whatever they may be at that time.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Additional comments. I have one quick comment. I saw that the truck has 43,000 miles on it. How did it rot out so badly with 43,000 miles? What were we hauling in that thing?
Yeah, probably salt. It was a dump truck that we pick up salt for a highway
Oh.
and we bring it over to here.
Salt will do that. So, okay. All right, additional comments?
Chris, do you have any recommendation? You're kind of our salt guy for going forward and how we can prevent that. Okay, so that might be something, I don't know, we want to look into for future.
Costs
Thank
more,
you.
but lasts
Yeah,
10 times longer.
worth it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, additional comments from the board? I'll put this to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstentions, motion is adopted.
Move for the adoption of a resolution to establish the following New York State standard workdays. For these titles, for these titles, a will report the officials to the New York State and local retirement system based on timekeeping system records or their record of activities.
Okay, we have the hours here listed for all of the electeds here, so we're not going to basically read every single section of this. But fair to say it's basically just to get in line with what New York State is looking for. So basically, do I have a second for discussion on this before we have a roll call vote?
Second.
Okay, so basically, I need board commentary on this before we call for the voice.
And it's just these four, correct? There's not additional, because this is a screenshot.
Right.
This time,
This, yeah, for right now.
this time.
Yep,
Right.
perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to call for a roll call vote on this.
And Counselor Hogan,
Yes.
and Counselor Daniel,
Aye.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Santucci,
Yes.
and Counselor Hardy.
Aye.
Okay, motion is adopted. Sweeper rental for 1 month for spring road cleaning. Move for the adoption of a resolution to rent a sweeper from C&S Sweeping for 1 month, that is budgeted, in the amount of $8,500, budget code 003-5140-4400-0000.
Second.
Discussion.
This account, very cleverly named, is sweeper rental from the highway department. It,
Okay. Any?
Roughly no end.
Okay, additional commentary on this? All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions, the motion is adopted. Okay. At this point, we need to have a public input. Speakers have up to 3 minutes to speak on anything tonight from the agenda. Please approach the dais and they can speak for 3 minutes. Okay, we'll close that because no one's has anything to say tonight. So, all right, I'm making a motion to adjourn. Second.
Second.
Voice vote. All in favor of adjourning our meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, we are adjourned. Thank you so much. Board meeting adjourned at 7.